So I'm kind of upset because the last time I filmed this, I had so much more sass than I have right now, but the audio was not recording properly, so I gotta start it over. Hello, everyone. Hey, Pokemon Masters. Birdkeeper Toby here, and we're just kind of having a fun one. It wouldn't be the true Birdkeeper Toby experience if we couldn't one last time mess up a recording. So over the years, I've done a number of videos on my favorite and least favorite Pokemon. The favorite Pokemon people are less fussed about, but the least favorite Pokemon, yeah, I've riled some people up. And always in videos like this, I have to, drop a little disclaimer. It's an opinion-based video, right? My opinion being always right, yours being always wrong. And if I choose your favorite Pokemon as my least favorite, what are you doing? If you don't want to continue being an absolute goofball, though, you should click the link at the top of the description and head on over to my merch store. It's closing down in just a couple days. / couple of weeks, depending on when I upload this. At the end of the year, it's closing down. Everything's gone forever, including the Tropical Festivities design and the Tree of Evolution. It's your last chance to get it now, and of course, it supports me and helps me during my time off. So here we go, my favorite and least favorite Pokemon of every single Pokemon type. Starting with the grass type, and we'll start nice and easy, right? My favorite, okay? And with grass, fire, and water, first of all, one thing, I'm not going to be talking about the elemental monkeys, because I hate them all. Second of all, yeah, the favorites are probably going to be starters, because guess which Pokemon I use the most? The starters. So yeah, I'm going to go with Torterra, which is grass ground type. Now, I should clarify here, it's grass ground. If it was ground grass, I wouldn't even be considering it. I'd be considering it on the ground type. I think this is just a fairer way to do it. So like Parasect, for example, I mean, it's not going to be my favorite Pokemon, but it's bug grass type, so that will be compared against other bug Pokemon, not against other grass Pokemon, that kind of thing. So grass ground, we got Torterra. Listen, I think the Sinnoh starters are perfect. That's just my opinion, and again, a fact. Turtwig, Grottle, Torterra, Chimchar, Inferno, Infernape, Piplup, Primplup, and Polion. They're all perfect. Their shinies are all perfect. Everything about these Pokemon are perfect. Actually, I don't know about their shinies, but they are all pretty much perfect starter Pokemon. I love this trio so much, but I always come back to my first Sinnoh starter, Turtwig, and the final evolution, Torterra. It's the world's turtle, and it's a dinosaur, and it's everything you could ever want. There was actually a Torterra card that I got to, reveal here in the UK, so that was pretty cool. Yeah. Big fan of Torterra. My least favorite grass type then, actually, it wouldn't be Simisage if Simisage was an option. And I know in the old days I talked a lot of smack about Servine. I'm going to give Servine a break here. It's not Servine, it's Bramblin. And I don't even think that's that controversial. Grass Ghost. There are other Grass Ghost, Ghost Grass Pokemon that are just way cooler. Pumpkaboo, Trevenant, Delmise, Bramblin, and Brambleghast. These Pokemon are just some of the, I just think, the most boring Pokemon that exist. There's nothing about them that makes me go, ooh, I want to make sure I train with one of those. They're a literal tumbleweed, and I don't think that's a problem inherently. It's just there's no personality about these Pokemon that I can get attached to, and nothing makes me want to use them, and especially because the big evolution doesn't change. Does it change anything from the pre-evolution? Is it just bigger? I don't know. No reason for me to pick one up, and no reason I'll pick one up anytime soon. Fire type! And yeah, this time it's just to prove I'm not a Gen 1er, it's Cyndaquil, so it's still same difference, really, because Gen 1 is also Gen 2ers. It's the same thing. Cyndaquil looks great, both in its original sprite art, I think it looks amazing in Crystal with the way that its flames kick up, but it also looks amazing in Legends Arceus, where its 3D flames are, doing its thing. So I just think Cyndaquil looks exceptional in these games. I think I prefer Cyndaquil to its evolutions. I have gone on a number of journeys with Cyndaquil as a party member and not evolve it. It's got so much personality in the animated series. There are some amazing cards of Cyndaquil. I just really love Cyndaquil. I think it's a shame for a lot of the early 3D era you don't see its flames very much because they look so good in Legends Arceus. And I do like other modern Pokemon as well. I think Fuecoco's great. I think Hisui and Arcanine. Is that me proving I'm not a Gen 1er? Hisui and Arcanine. The worst for me, the worst fire Pokemon I've just never been able to grow to like it is Delphox. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you. You might say it's the humanoid thing, but I like other humanoid Pokemon. So I don't know what it is. I know that I liked Fennekin. I know that when X and Y were first revealed and the starters were shown, Fennekin was my first choice. I was like, I'm going to get that Pokemon. But then I saw its evolution, and over the years, over 10 years, nothing has changed about my opinion on it. I just think it is not cool. I do not like it. That's it. I don't know, Toby. That doesn't sound very fair or reasonable of you. It's not. This is my least favorite Pokemon based on random opinions. What? Water type, Swampert. I've always liked Swampert. I think Swampert is possibly the best starter Pokemon ever, even more so than Torterra. I don't know. I'm always happy to do another run through with a Mudkip evolve it up into Marshtomp, get the Swampert. I'd be happy not evolving the Mudkip. I'd be happy not evolving the Marshtomp. I think all stages of its evolutionary line are super cool. I think the move Muddy Water is really cool for some reason. I'm just attached to it. Hoenn starters generally are also really, really great, but I will always come back to Swampert. I'm always happy to use it. Earthquake, Surf, really fun in Pokemon Coliseum as well if you trade it over. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's great. I'm gonna stop saying I don't know. I don't need to justify my opinions. It's my video. If you don't like him, you can leave. Speaking of which, I'm about to dunk on another Gen 3 Pokemon, Water type. It's Luvdisc. I do not love Luvdisc. I have not grown a lot of love for Luvdisc over the years. It is, at this point, is it even got a purpose? Because I think you used to farm it for heart scales to remember moves, but I'm pretty sure you can just relearn moves now. So, what's the purpose of a Luvdisc? I do not think there is one. I've never been inclined to catch one. I think when you do catch them, they're really late in the game as well for the Hoenn game, and I don't know about the other games. I've never gone out of my way to get one. It's not even like they evolve, even though a Alola is clearly a Luvdisc evolution. So I don't know. Stop saying I don't know. Electric type. So the electric type, there's none that I like love, but there's also none that I hate. So they're all like just good. Like electric Pokemon are generally good. I think the top of the pack for me is Electivire. I think Electivire is sick. I thought Electabuzz was cool. Elekid was even cooler, and then Electivire is like the coolest. It's got his little bulky hands. I'd want to be defended or hugged by an Electivire. Special shout out to shiny Hisuian Voltorb, because that shiny is... I do not like, and again, there's really not many electric Pokemon I dislike here. I don't even know that I dislike this Pokemon. The electric style of Oricorio. It's just the least interesting electric Pokemon to me. It's not that I don't dislike cheerleaders. I just don't care about, like, it's not a thing we have in the UK. Really, is it? I don't know. Pinchurin, maybe? I don't even dislike Pinchurin. Normal type. Where is he? Where's the baby? It's Stuffle. It's always Stuffle. It's always been Stuffle since the moment I first laid eyes on Stuffle. It just makes the best noise. And there are other normal Pokemon that I really, really like. I think Snorlax is fantastic. You know, Noctowl has been a channel mascot in the past. But Stuffle is a Pokemon that's so cute that I resent evolving my old one into a Beware when I first played Sun and Moon. I really like Stuffle that much. And my least favorite normal Pokemon is a legendary Pokemon. It's Meloetta, because, I mean, it's the least interesting legendary Pokemon, I think. I research Pokemon myths and legends for a living, and Meloetta has never come up. Not once, not ever. It's kind of been juggled around the idea of it knowing the Relic song, and maybe that's tied to the Relic items and the Abyssal Ruins. There's nothing on Meloetta. Like, they just made this Pokemon a legendary Pokemon, inserted it into the game, and I don't think there's an awful lot of lore behind it, and that, to me, is really disappointing. Okay, let's look at the bugs. Kleavor's cool. I've always liked Scyther, ever since I had a little toy Scyther, a little plastic one that I stepped on as a kid and lost its wings. How can you make a Pokemon that competes with Scizor, but it so clearly does? I don't know. But the real best bug is the big bug Golisopod. Golisopod has been cool since the moment I've seen it to right now. I've felt the exact same way about it consistently. It's just a really cool Pokemon. I caught it in my Sun and Moon team. I've used a competitive one. I've used a shiny one. I had a Pokemon card deck with Golisopod. There's a new Golisopod card that looks really, really cool on the art. It's as cool today as it was when it first got revealed. Compare that to like Ledybuzz evolution. Ledybuzz cute. Ledian, just super uninteresting in the way that it looks. I think the only thing that I think of when I think of it is, oh, it knows like Comet Punch, I guess. It's a spaceman ladybug. Didn't Orbeetle do that like way better? I guess it's an evil scientist UFO, but way cooler. Yeah, compared to some of the other bugs that are out there, it's easily my least favorite. We gotta talk about the rock type. And possibly my favorite rock type is Klawf. Klawf is really cool. And the shiny for Klawf. Oh, but then there's shiny Gigalith as well. Both of them, the blue rock shinies, super, super cool. But Klawf, I think it's the cry. Like, it has the best cry. Then there's Binacle, and that's my least favorite rock Pokemon. Is it your favorite rock Pokemon? I don't even need to give a reason. I already know you agree with me. Hey, if you want to see how ridiculous my opinions really are, though, we get to the ice type. And when it comes to ice Pokemon, my favorite Pokemon and my least favorite Pokemon are effectively the same Pokemon, and in my brain, every ice Pokemon sits in between. My favorite one is Regice. My least favorite is Avalugg. They're both icebergs. I think it's just nostalgic attachment to Regice through a video that I did about how Regice is a Pokemon that will kill you because of how cold it is. I mean, I do think it's cooler. Like, it's this, you know, big automaton ice golem powered by ancient technologies somehow, right? That's Regice. And Avalugg is a coffee table. Sure, but I don't think it's deserving of the fact that they're so widely spaced apart. But then also just a lot of the ice Pokemon are good. I think that too. Poison! I love Trubbish. I'm going to say, I think Trubbish is the coolest. I got a Trubbish, a shiny Trubbish, back when Black 2 came out, and I fell in love with Trubbish. And that's it. That's the deal. I think it's cute. I think you're wrong if you don't like Trubbish. You don't know what you're talking about. The poison Pokemon that I like the least, it's not a Pokemon I dislike, is Shroodle. And I think that's just because I haven't spent a lot of time with Shroodle, and it's got very big eyes, and I'm just a bit confused about how its inner biology works. It's not a reason to hate the Pokemon, I'm not fussed on it. Flying type, you'd think, oh, he's a bird keeper, he's going to have a bird here, but actually a lot of the flying Pokemon are normal type, so as their primary types. So I'm actually going to go with the flying dragon type Noivern, one of Cupperfee's favorite Pokemon. There's also a Pokemon card of Noivern of it over a city, and it's beautiful. I don't know. I gave up on the kiss halfway. And if I have to pick my least favorite, looking at the list of primary flying type Pokemon, I guess it's Corvisquire. Corvisquire is just an awkward middle stage, and I don't think it's doing anything wrong. Like, I think that's what it's supposed to be, but it's just my least favorite of the designs. I will bring special attention here to Tornadus, because I think Therian Tornadus is one of the coolest flying Pokemon ever. The regular Tornadus, the dude with the crossed arms, not my cup of tea for a Pokemon. I don't think it's not a Pokemon design. I've always said that. I think the Therian forms are so cool, and then the regular forms are just not, to the point where they're opposite ends of the scale for me. That's actually also I guess I should move on to the ground type here, the same with Landorus, because Landorus Therian form is one of my favorite ground type Pokemon, but again, the regular Landorus, not really all that fussed on it. I like Landorus Therian form. It's probably my favorite, but gosh, there's so many good ground type Pokemon. There's Ursaluna, there's Gliscor, there's Crocodile. I love all of these ground type Pokemon, so I don't even know. I think Landorus Therian form like edges out just like a little bit. And if I have to say my least favorite ground type Pokemon, it's pretty easy. It's Alolan Dugtrio, because the hair thing. First of all, what's funny about long hair? I don't think it's fair to make fun of the long hair. And Alolan Dugtrio has some steep competition. I mean, look at Stunfisk. But no, Alolan Dugtrio is by far my least favorite ground type. Fighting type, and this is like a mark of successful Pokemon design, I think, is Annihilate. My favorite fighting type Pokemon is for sure Annihilate. I don't know how you can take a Gen 1 design and make it that much cooler, but they certainly did. Like, they broke the nostalgia wall. They said, here's Annihilate, and I'm just thinking, yes, that is the right evolution for Primate. It's so brilliantly done. I think there's so many times we see evolutions to older Pokemon where we think, okay, I would have done it a little bit different, and this isn't for me. Annihilate is a total exception to that. It is a Pokemon where I wouldn't have done it that way, but I'm so glad they did. I think it is fantastic. So see, I'm no Gen 1er. I like the new Pokemon, but I also hate the new Pokemon. Sneasler, why would they take Weavile and say that this needs changing into Sneasler? Like, Hisuian Sneasel is fantastic. What is Sneasler doing? It's one of the few Pokemon where I played the game and I hadn't had that Pokemon leaked to me or revealed to me. And that's quite rare. It has been quite rare this last decade. And I played the game, and yeah, Sneasler looks not good. What do you want me to say? Oh, Steel type. Okay, there's a lot of good Steel Pokemon. Steelix, I'm very nostalgic for. Meltan, I think is the way they announced Meltan is so great. But I'm gonna have to say, Mega Metagross. I love Metagross. I love shiny Metagross. I played Oras with the shiny Beldum event. How they made Metagross cooler with Mega Evolution, I don't even know. But they did. They just took the design and they made it incredible. Mega Metagross, sick. Absolutely brilliant. 10 out of 10. Probably my top 3 favorite Pokemon, if not my favorite Pokemon of all time. I think it is a stunning Pokemon, and I cannot wait for the day that Mega Metagross is back in games. Steel type, there's actually not a lot of bad Pokemon. I guess I'll go with like Clang, or whatever the middle stage of like Clink and Clang. I think it's Clang. It's the lamest of the Steel type evolution lines, and it's the middle one, so it's the least interesting of the designs. That's all. It's not done anything horribly wrong. You know, give it a bit of a telling off, but that's it. Dark. The Dark type Pokemon, three-way split between Darkrai, Guzzlord, and Wuchien. I think the Ruinous Quartet are generally fantastic. I love the way that you discover them in the games, and Wuchien was the first one I discovered, and the Ruinous tablets going up the back of this snail. The fact that this is a sort of like demon snail from another world, great idea. My least favorite, though, also from Paldea, is Mabosstiff. Mabosstiff has a whole big emotional arc in the Scarlet and Violet story, or at least I'm told it's emotional, but I'm looking at this Pokemon and it looks ill after it feels better. I wasn't invested anyway. The Pokemon could just die. It could just, I'm just saying it could. They literally gave us Houndstone, and they gave us, what's the edible one? Brioche Freeze. What's it called? Fido, right, absolutely adorable. They just released 2 better dog Pokemon alongside this dog Pokemon, and then I think I just prefer every other dog Pokemon to this, and certainly every other dark Pokemon to this. Psychic. Obviously, we love Mew and Mewtwo, but Necrozma, and not just the legendary Ultra Necrozma, but like just regular Necrozma, a prismatic black floating alien that absorbs light and has crashed from space. Super cool, seeing its claws ripping its way through the Ultra Wormhole. Oh, it's spectacular. I really think Necrozma is one of the coolest Pokemon. I'm gonna give Oricorio a second spot. Yeah, Psychic Oricorio is probably my least favorite Psychic Pokemon, as well as being my least favorite Electric Pokemon. The Ghost and Fire types, super cool. Really like them. But the Psychic one, not a fan. It's the Ghost one has the fan. Ghosts! Let's speak about ghosts. I hate to be so basic. Yeah, I guess I'm a Gen 1. Gengar, I think Gengar's cool. There are other ghost Pokemon I think are cool. Do I think any is cooler than Gengar? Nah, probably not. G-Max Gengar on that card as well. Oh, you know the one. My least favorite, probably Delmise. Don't get me wrong, I do think it's better than a Bramblin, but as it's being sort of chosen here as a ghost Pokemon, it's probably the least interesting ghost Pokemon on my ghost rota. Fairy type. Okay, I've got 2 here tied for first place that are for totally different reasons. I think Iron Valiant is so cool. I think Iron Valiant is one of the coolest Pokemon I've ever seen in my life. And Togepi is filled with mystery and Pokemon lore and everything I love. And it's like got Pokemon nostalgia, but it's a Gen 2 Pokemon, but part of the Gen 1 era. Oh, it's brilliant. We love Togepi. We love Iron Valiant. My least favorite fairy Pokemon, Aromatisse, sounds like a little bit of a cop-out. Like, obviously, it's Aromatisse. So if not, I'm going to say something very controversial here. I don't really get the fuss around the Tinkaton line, particularly the pre-evolutions. People seem to love this Pokemon. They lose their mind over this Pokemon with its Gigaton Hammer. I do not understand why. And then my least favorite dragon Pokemon. My favorite dragon Pokemon is Garchomp. Sorry to be so basic, like everyone loves Garchomp, obviously, because it's cool. Probably my least favorite dragon, and I don't even hate it, is Baxcalibur. I think the middle evolution, actually no, it's not even Baxcalibur, it's Frigibax. It's the original evolution in that line. The middle stage is adorable. The little raptor one, oh, so cute. But either side, I would rather just not evolve it. I just leave it in its middle stage, give it an Eviolite, and hang out with that Pokemon on my team. Baxcalibur, I don't hate it, but there's no denying that when it uses its signature move, it's a little bit goofy, a little bit silly. You might say, hey, hang on a second, Toby. None of your least favorite Pokemon are from generations 1 or 2, are they? You are a Gen 1er, I see you. And to that, I am gonna hide away. And remind you to pick up my new merch. It's linked in the description. I have new old merch. It's going away forever. The channel's going away forever. So you should click that link. I say the channel's going away. I'm not deleting this video. These horrible opinions of mine will be on the internet forever. But the merch will not be. So click that link at the top of the description. Head on over to the merch store. Pick up while you can. Get yourself a nice gift for yourself or for a friend. Or the Tree of Evolution poster. And of course, so hi, Pokemon Masters.
Hello there, it's me, Professor Oak. This video is over, so please choose another one wisely and quickly. Bye-bye.
Thank you anyone who has ever contributed through Patreon, and especially the big patrons of this month, Lucas Gates, Anthony Lee, Charmander Aznable, Wietse Dik, Immortal Absol, and Jed Rubin. Thank you for your incredible support.